The race to fill former Ohio Congresswoman Marcia Fudge's seat is heating up, and former state senator and co-chair of Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign has already made a mark in that context. Nina Turner, bringing in a whopping $1.55 million for the first quarter of this year, also received more than 77,000 individual contributions over all 50 states.
Joining us to talk about how she is fighting this campaign is former state senator Nina Turner. It's so great to see you, Nina.
Good to see you, Nina.
Thank you, Crystal. Sagar, it's good to be with both of you.
Absolutely.
These are pretty eye-popping numbers. What do you make of them? How'd you pull it off?
Man, I love the word eye-popping. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful description. You know, just getting down with the people. A lot of this is a culmination of the work that I've been doing all across this country, taking my district with me every step of the way, standing up for this district as I fight for Medicare for all, a $15 an hour minimum wage, Green New Deal, you name it. The people in this district certainly need relief. 50% of our children live in poverty. We have some lead problem challenges, small businesses. 41% of Black businesses have gone out of business since COVID. So all of the things that I've been fighting for all of this time are bearing fruit. And that is why our campaign is able to draw progressives and conscious-minded people from all over the country, and even the District of Columbia. And more importantly, we have raised money in every single zip code in the 11th congressional district.
Well, we're fascinated by the success, obviously, of your campaign. What do you think the dynamics there, Nina? Because what we saw often, there was criticism. It was like, oh, well, you know, you're bringing national politics to this local district, but obviously it's been quite successful. How have you seen response to your national platform there on the ground while running in a local office?
Well, the people love it. You know, it's just the folks inside the bubble who don't like it. I mean, it is vitally important. You know, when you run for Congress, I mean, the service in Congress, you serve the district that you are elected from, but by extension, you're dealing with national and international issues. And so what is so exciting about our campaign is that I have had time on task. I've been in the vineyard, if you will, and I will be able to bring that national influence to bear on behalf of the residents of the 11th congressional district. So it is really an extraordinary thing. We got the endorsement of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, which is exciting. And as we know, I have individual endorsements from people like Congressman Ro Khanna, Congresswoman Cori Bush, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Jayapal, Congressman Pocan, Congressman Levin. I mean, you name it. I know I'm leaving out some, but I'm just giving an example of the spectrum of support that we have. And all of this is in service to the 11th Congressional District. And locally, my mayor in my city, Mayor Frank G. Jackson, endorsed Nina Turner. Congressman Blaine Griffin, who's a leader locally, Councilman Blaine Griffin, who's serving in the Cleveland City Council where I serve. So we're bringing together national and local forces in service to the constituents of the 11th Congressional District.
I don't claim to be an expert on Cleveland politics, but the way that the media has been writing it up, the sort of your top opponent in the primary is Shontel Brown, someone who's considered to be close to former Congresswoman Marcia Fudge. So far, Congresswoman Fudge hasn't endorsed anyone. But looking from afar, it looks like you've been able to do something that's actually pretty unique in sort of lefty progressive politics, which you've got the AOCs and the Bernie Sanders of the world backing you, but you also have the mayor, as you're pointing out, and other elected local officials who are part of the establishment behind your campaign as well. How have you been able to bridge those worlds?
You know, Crystal, I've been a coalition builder for a long time, and I know folks see me fiery, and I am that, but I'm a multifaceted person just like anybody else. And usually when I'm called to an issue, it is to fight for something or fight against something. But what people can see in the culmination of my endorsement, whether it's the House of Labor, SEIU, or the Bakers Union, for example, or ATU, Amalgamated Transit Union, and on to all my union sisters and brothers, I have been in the vineyard side by side with these people doing the work. And I am a coalition builder. I build coalitions. You know, even my work with my Governor John Kasich, who we've jousted many a time. We don't agree on many issues from a policy standpoint, but when it came to do something about policing and show this state a new thing, we were able to work side by side at the Ohio task force for community and police relations, as he signed an executive order at my request, talking to the governor about the needs and some of the tragedies that had happened in my city and across the state of Ohio. What that shows is that I'm willing to work with anybody, be they moderate, progressive, or conservative, if in fact they are on the justice journey, putting aside some of the difficulties or challenges or disagreements that we've had in the past. If we're going to work towards an issue that points towards justice, I'm your dance partner. So coalition building, baby, is what I do.
So, Nina, tell us this, which is that in terms of what's your view of how the Democrats have conducted themselves with their majorities in the House, Senate, and the presidency currently?
Well, Saigon, we certainly could use that power more effectively. I'm very disappointed in Senator Joe Manchin, or maybe I should call him, well, let's just say Senator Joe Manchin propensity for blocking, what Democrats are trying to do. I mean, even right now, he's balking at the infrastructure bill that President Biden is pushing through, saying that he does not support the increase in the corporate taxes. Are you kidding me? As a matter of fact, Democrats should go back to pre-Trump levels. It was at 35%, and President Trump moved it to 21%. I do give President Biden some credit for trying to push it from 21 to 28 to fund his infrastructure bill. But let's go on and go all the way. We asked the American people to give us the presidency, check. We asked them to help the Democrats hold the House, check. We asked them to give us the power of the Senate, of the U.S. Senate by way of Georgia, check, check, and check. So now it's time for us to go ham in the paint on behalf of the workaday people of this nation. So we should just go ahead and repeal the Bush tax cuts and move it from 21% all the way to 35%. So Democrats are making some progress. I will give the Biden administration some points for making progress. But people like Senator Joe Manchin and people like Sinema, we got to question whether or not these folks really want to serve the people who are suffering, the poor, the working poor, the barely middle class, or are they just answering to their donors?
Here's the thing that blows my mind, Nina, is Manchin is willing to go so hard, willing to blow up this whole thing in order to give more to corporations and do something that also, by the way, just in the politics of really unpopular, right? I mean, keeping the corporate tax rate low is not a popular policy. He's willing to go to the mat for that. Why isn't there a comparative level of hardball politics on the left? Why is it always the right-wing Democrats who were willing to throw all the way in to get the terrible things and neuter the bill and get the things that they ultimately want for the donor class?
Yeah, we got to get there, Crystal. I mean, I believe the progressives are willing. We just got to get there. We got to throw caution to the wind and just stand up. You're absolutely right. People like Senator Joe Manchin are ready to do whatever it takes to get their way. He's doing it now. He did it with the COVID relief bill, and he does it time and time again. And so we have to go just as hard on behalf of the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class in this country as they are for the donor class in this country. And this stuff is unseemly. It's untenable. It is immoral. The second version of the Gilded Age in the United States of America in the midst of so much suffering, it absolutely breaks my heart. And so we got to go in hard. And we also have to get out among the American people, Crystal and Sagar, and even if it's virtually, and call these people out, call them out by name, and let the American people know who's standing in the way of changing their material conditions. We cannot endure in this fashion where the ultra wealthy of this nation continue to get their way and everybody else suffers by extension. It's untenable, immoral, and unacceptable.
What type of attacks are coming your way right now, Nina?
Oh my God, Crystal. Well, I'm leveraging the power of the people all across this country, starting with the 11th congressional district. I mean, some people want to paint me as that I'm not, really a Clevelander, which is ludicrous on his face. Born and raised here, served as a Cleveland City Councilwoman. My Senate district was half of the 11th congressional district, and also my passion. I'm too angry. Well, yeah, I'm mad about a whole bunch of stuff, and there are plenty of speeches out there with me saying that I'm mad, and that people can join me in this crusade to use that anger for positive means. If you are not mad about eviction rates, if you are not mad about the fact that half of the children in this district are living in poverty, that families can't make ends meet, the black community is suffering disproportionately, and then that there's a class and a caste system, that I just don't even understand why you are running to serve the people. I do have a righteous indignation that I put on full display from time to time to meet the suffering in this country. So I'm going to continue to stand up against these forces.
Yeah.
Senator Nina Turner, thank you so much for the update. Great to see you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
More Rising for you after this.